For sure.
Cool. What's up? It's Sad Zilla with Zilla Mode, and today we're going to be doing a pretty different kind of video, some kind of new series that I want to start doing, and it has to do with kind of looking at another artist's stats and analytics and just analyzing everything, going in a deep dive to see like what was the rise, how did somebody, this certain artist rise from the bottom to where they are now, and we can kind of just look at where they started and where they are now, and maybe you guys can get some information out of that, something that you guys can use for yourselves, and put yourself in their shoes, and I don't know, don't make the same mistakes that my guest here did, Ian I-CEE. What's up, Ian?
Hey, what up?
Now, Ian, you and me have known each other for quite a while.
Yeah,
It's been a few years,
is it coming up on three? It's
maybe
coming up on three-ish.
something
Right?
like that. He had
Two and
hit
a
me
half
up.
probably.
Ian had hit me up, and he said, hey, how much is like a feature or something like that? And I was like, oh, it's this or whatever. And I didn't really think anything of it. It took a while to get done, but we finally got something done, and that song is "Go Stupid," which is one of my biggest songs on my platform. And when I had first hit you up, or when you had first hit me up, you had only
Hmm.
had like one stream, like pretty much, like negative two people were listening to you at the time. It was
Hmm.
pretty crazy. This guy had no monthly listeners, and now
Yeah,
you've really done a lot
I,
with yourself.
I think the like actual number was literally I think it was either one or two monthly listeners the exact month or day before Go Stupid came out.
It's just nuts. It's nuts how things have changed in the course of what, 2 years now, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
yeah,
Go Stupid's about a year and a half now. Yeah.
yeah.
Or
No,
it's
I
coming
think
up on two. It'll
yeah, it's
be
coming
two
on
in
two.
June.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably right. Because you were the first one that I started with weekly releases. I would drop Go Stupid, and from then on, I started doing weekly releases and done it since. So that's
Yeah.
just crazy. So yeah, Ian is very special to me, not as a friend, but as a client. I do all of his mixing and stuff like that. No, he's a great friend. We usually talk every single day about artist stuff. So this is a very natural thing for me to be doing right now is to be looking at Ian's stats. I have access to
Something that we do
Ian's.
a lot.
Yeah, it's something we do a lot, and now we're gonna be doing it for you guys. But I don't think we've ever really deep dived like this before in this almost like podcast kind of situation. So this will be really interesting.
Yeah,
You re-
definitely.
you ready to dive into this?
Let's go.
I've had my Streamlabs up this entire time. What am I doing? Okay, so anyway, we have Ian's Spotify for artists. Now, Ian, there's nothing that we want to hide here, right?
I don't believe so.
Okay, well, it's too late if there is because we're looking at it right now.
I think
Um,
it's fairly boring right now.
right? Ian has now pitched a song to editorials. His next song to editorials. Don't forget to pitch your songs to editorials, guys. If you have not pitched your
Always.
new song to editorials, go do that right now. Well, actually, go do it after you watch this video. So right now, currently, let's go to audience. Currently, Ian has 70,708 listeners, monthly listeners. This is a 14% change, a 14% increase change from last month, which is really nice. Good job, Ian.
Thank you.
But it wasn't always like this. It was not
No.
always like this. No, it was not. Let's look at the streams right now. 198,755 streams for the month. That's almost 200,000 for basically 200,000 for the month. So every single month getting about 200,000 streams. It's a 6% increase since last month. Good job, Ian.
Thank you.
Followers, Ian just hit 1,000 recently, so now he has 1,010 followers. This is 72 up from last month. So good job on that. Now, like I said, this is not
Mhm.
how it always was. Let's go to the 2015. when Ian was a wee little baby, a wee little baby.
Yeah.
This was, if you can see me kind of going over here. Oh, what is this? Well, let's see if I can land on one stream on February 23rd, or one listener on February 23rd. We go a little bit further. I saw there it is, there it is, there it is. One stream or one listener from Sunday, April 25th, 2021. So Ian had nothing going on, and then we start seeing an increase around July, which is when we dropped our song, and then it just kind of started building from there, building from there, building from there. Now we start getting more and more spikes, and we're just growing, we're growing, we're growing, we're growing, we're growing. Now, Ian, what did you
Mm.
start doing to get to where you are today? What is like the biggest thing that you can look at and you can say that is what changed everything?
Well, back in the early spots where you're showing where I had one listener and
Yep.
stuff, I had one song.
Yeah.
And then now, if you were to pull up like the since 2018 or whatever, I have, yeah, 70
77
something songs.
songs. 77 songs now Ian has
Hmm.
released in what, so less than 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah,
Less
so
than
I
2
think
years.
that's a huge help is, just the consistency of everything. Also, most of those songs, I think all but maybe 10
Mhm.
are collabs. So
Nice.
all of them have other artists and stuff. So, I'm reaching out and expanding my audience to other people who may not have heard of me
Right.
before uh,
Right.
uh, through that. So that's definitely helped a lot.
If we look at
And
all
then,
time, if we look at all time right here, this is just
mhm,
an idea of his streams on his song. So Go Stupid, one of my biggest songs, 1.4, almost 1.5 million streams overall. Stranded, a song that he has with another larger artist named Mako, 612,000. Dude, that's going to be hitting 1 million pretty soon. Congratulations. Squirrel
thank you.
Girl versus Galactus, Who You Got? Awesome song
That was
title.
fun.
87,000. Then we got Gore the God Butcher, another one with myself, 83,000. 71,000 for Wakanda Drift. And so it just goes on and on and on and on. Now, if we look down here, this is total throughout the entire thing. Not every song is going to be a hit, guys. Not every song is going to be a hit. We have this one down here, 8 streams total throughout its entire lifespan. 8 streams. This one, Red Alert, 200 streams.
That
Um,
one's taken down.
Oh, okay, okay. I guess it was up before. A Rope and Chair, your first ever song that you had or whatever. 819 streams, almost 1,000 streams finally after over 2 years. So like you look at this
Yeah.
stuff and it's like it's not all about necessarily those huge hits. All these songs build up to those huge hits, which we're gonna get into. But like even though these are what some could consider failures, they're not hits, they're not like what made you as big as you are right now, but they are building to something, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah. I
just
mean, they all
feeding the
contribute to
algorithm.
a paycheck at the end of every month.
That's true, that's
Like,
true as well. But
yeah.
let's get into the releases. As I scroll down here, what I mean, guys, by this builds up to something is you have to think like as long as you are feeding the algorithm what you need to be feeding it, you need to be feeding it the right information. So like the right kind of listeners are listening to this stuff. You're collaborating with the right kind of artists to feed the algorithm that kind of right information. The more you do that, the more Spotify is going to push your bigger songs. The more chances you're going to have to land on editorials, for example, and to do all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot that goes into it. So don't be discouraged if a song does not do as well as you think it will, because overall you're doing something. You're doing all this to feed good information. You're showing consistency. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Even Ian here has had songs that do not do as well as others, but now he's getting in a better situation. So let's start looking at what we got here. So a rope and chair, obviously we've talked about this just being your first song. Rope and chair. You look at this. What? Like, this is amazing. This is amazing. 0, 1, 1, 1.
Yeah.
So I don't even know where these
Yeah, it's
streams
sitting
even.
all the way at the bottom of my catalog. I don't think that anyone
It's
would find it other than it just being suggested. If they were to like put on my full discography playlist, or maybe if it got put on radio for some reason
mm-hmm,
for someone,
mm-hmm.
it's the only things I can think of.
Yeah, I'm looking at it
Other than
right
that,
now.
yeah,
33% your
no
profile,
reason.
33% listeners own playlist, 33%
Yeah,
algorithmic. It doesn't. It's not on anybody's playlist as far as what it can tell. So that yeah,
yeah,
this is just maybe radio, but I would think that maybe it would show up in playlists, but maybe not. If it's only like 3 streams, maybe it's just not showing it because of that. But that's regardless. I'm just showing you guys kind of like what this original song is doing now. It doesn't matter. This original song does not matter in the grand scheme of things.
nope, nope. Because
Okay.
I mean, the very next song was our song.
And then the next song is Go Stupid. Exactly. So we have Go Stupid, and I'll just show Go Stupid real quick. I don't even know if it's even going to be able to show.
Won't
It's not going to
show
be able
you
to.
the more interesting things.
It's not going to be able to show us the more interesting stuff, like where it went and everything. Like this thing has peaked before at 4.5 thousand, streams a day. It currently gets around 2,500 to 3,000. So, it's in a good spot. This consistently will give us streams, and it's a good song. Now, so just some idea of how this really popped off. We had uploaded this track to a YouTube channel called Toxic. It was like an AMV, like anime music video YouTube channel, and it popped off. I think that video currently has. Let's look at it right now.
2.7.
Go.
I
Okay. Is
checked
that
it very recently.
2.7 million streams
Yeah.
this video has. Oh, look at that. It may be inappropriate. So,
Oh, okay. That's why it stopped getting streamed. Anyways,
yeah, that will affect it. So yeah, it has 2.7 million views on this YouTube video alone. So, if you can get something like that, that's awesome. That's what happened with us, and it just kind of blew up from there. And even though it doesn't get that many views now from that YouTube video, we're still getting a good amount of streams. So good on this. Spotify eventually just takes it off with it and does its own thing. But that's not why we're here today. We're not here to talk about the hits. We're here to talk about what the building blocks to finding these hits are. I mean, that's kind of like a 1 in a million thing, right? So let's get started talking about this stuff. So you released a track called Plastic. This one, it's gotten 6,000 overall. Now this is exactly. You started. When did you start weekly? I think you started weekly.
so that was the last week of August, in 2021.
The last week of August was Plastic. Then we went into September. It looks like you were doing bi-weekly.
Yeah, I
Burn
was doing every other
Anarchy.
week. I was releasing a new
Yeah,
song every
looks
other
like it.
week until January. And then I released 3 songs, but the January one only showed 2 because one of those was taken down.
Oh, okay.
But
I see. I see.
yeah, in February you'll see more
Yeah, looks
3 and
like this is
stuff.
where it starts. This is where it starts. So, February 11th, we started doing weekly releases. Now, this is important, guys, because we
Close.
are, or at least, well, it says February 11th, February 18th, February 25th. So we already have pretty close. Yeah, these are still
Hmm. I was
weekly.
doing
Yeah,
3
these
a
are still
month
these
at
are
that
oh,
point.
okay. So I mean,
Yeah.
regardless, guys, this is what I'm talking about. It's consistency. Even if you're doing 2 a month and you're continuously doing 2 a month, that's great. The main thing is that you're not releasing three tracks here, waiting 4 months and then releasing one track, waiting 2 months and then releasing five tracks. Like you want to be consistent. So if it's two every month, bi-weekly, okay, that's great. If it's four a month weekly, that's awesome too. The more the better, because the more opportunities you have to pitch to editorials, you have to feed the right information to Spotify about what your music is, who's listening to it, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so we get to your next thing, your next big hit, which is Stranded, which happened in February. So less than a year after Go Stupid, you released Stranded. Now Stranded was kind of calculated in a way. You and another artist collaborated with this bigger artist named Mako, and it ended up being like a really good track for himself, and it really connected with his audience, so it does really well, and you guys kind of reap the benefits of that.
Yeah, yeah, that one, you'll even if you click into it, you can
Yeah,
even
let's
see
let's see.
it didn't really have the strongest start, because it's about a year old now, so you're seeing about the whole life of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it kind of, at first just was okay, it was doing all right, but then randomly it started getting Discover Weekly pushes from Spotify. And
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
every few Mondays, it would just get this bigger and bigger and bigger push that would just keep on building it and building it and building it. And that's kind of what's brought it to this point now.
And what's gonna get you guys Discover Weeklies and stuff like that is things like save rates, things like your skip rates. You don't want people skipping your song. You also want to be added to a lot of playlists. Currently, right now, this
Mhm.
song is currently on 3,500 playlists. That's just in the last 30 days. So if you look at since 2015, overall over his lifespan, it's been on 10,516 playlists. Overall for Discover Weekly, look at how many streams, guys. Look at how many streams Discover Weekly has given this song. 105,000 streams. That means almost a quarter of these streams total are coming from Discover Weekly. Another big thing is your daily mix. Your daily mix is a huge deal. The kind of stuff, the kind of information that Spotify needs to know to give it Discover Weekly pushes. And radio, 31,000 streams overall. Actually, radio, that's actually a pretty low amount. The fact that
Yeah.
Discover Weekly is so high and radio is so much lower is actually pretty incredible. I mean, when this song, and if we look at here, Release Radar, when this song dropped, it only got 13,000 streams from Release Radar. So I mean, yeah, it started off not that great. I mean, overall for the size of the artist. So great stuff, great stuff. This is good
Yeah,
information.
that one always, I had a very strong feeling about it for a while. I
Mm-hmm.
just felt like it just needed time or some sort of opportunity to grow because its save ratio, like you were mentioning before, its save ratio is just so much higher than all of my other songs.
Right.
Like it was actually getting like a competing number of saves with Go Stupid when it had half the streams of Go Stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And
And,
so that
and
was like a really big sign to me.
I think the reason that it has such a good save rate and it converts so well is because it's being directed towards his audience, and that
Hmm.
song starts off with him. So I mean, just keep
Yep.
this in mind. If you guys are doing a collaboration with somebody that's bigger, you want to make sure that they start off the song. It's their song first and foremost, and their profile, their listeners that you're going to be targeting in the first place. So you want to make sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck in this scenario, right? You want to give them the best first impression. If you start off the song, and they're just listening to the Release Radar, very casually, they might just skip the song because they're like, I don't even know who this artist is, and then they just skip it. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when you're collaborating with a bigger artist. Would you agree with that, Ian?
Yeah, yeah, I would say that that's a pretty good idea. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I mean, if I go and I'm listening to an artist that I really like, I hear that they've got a new song, all of a sudden some dude that sounds like he recorded in his closet is jumping on the song
Right.
first
Yeah. Yeah.
versus, my well-polished artist. And I'm maybe not going to listen to it as hard.
Exactly. Yeah. And not only that, but just like the artist that you're following. You know what I'm saying? You
Exactly.
know what that
I'm there
artist
for
sounds like. Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a few more, songs. It looks like we're starting to get pretty consistent with the weekly at this point. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That was
we're
when I had started weekly, I think going
it's
dark may have
like
been
yeah,
when I
yeah, it looks
started.
like April 8th, April 15th, April 22nd, April 29th. So yeah, we're getting into the
Yeah.
weekly releases. So at this point he's getting confident enough to, really do it, do these weekly releases. Now what Ian and me, our partnership, and how he's my client is that um I mix all of his stuff. So, like he brings me all the stuff and then I mix it and then, I get it, we get it scheduled up and everything like that. So it's helped him become, really consistent and be able to do this kind of stuff because he doesn't have to worry about the mixing stuff or whatever. He just pays like a monthly fee and then he gets all the work done and he knows that he can get all this work out there, right? So all he has to do is just be productive. He has to be productive and get the vocals done. Get, if he has any beats that he needs to lease or, buy, he can do that. Any kind of artist that he's collaborating with, he can take care of and manage that as well. So there's a lot that goes into it, but really it's pretty simple. It really just comes down to how much work are you willing to put into it and your will, like what can you possibly do? What do you know that you can do, right? So, just something to
Mhm.
keep in mind, guys. This is
Oh
not for
yeah.
everybody. This is not for everybody, but keep in mind Ian was not an artist before this started. Before Go
No.
Stupid, he was not doing this regularly. Like that was his first song. That first song was his first song that he's ever
Ever.
done. And right, Ian, you had never
Yeah,
done anything
yeah.
like that
That
before.
was the first song that I ever recorded any vocals on ever.
And he didn't
Go
record his
Stupid
own
was the
vocals.
first song. Yeah, Go Stupid was the first song that I ever wrote any lyrics on. And then like past that, I think Body Bag was the first song that I ever recorded by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like within my first 10 songs. And then, like you were saying, the hard work and stuff, yeah, it's definitely a lot of dedication. Like I've had to not go out as frequently, or
Mm-hmm.
go and do social things because I'm staying inside and working on music all the time, and that's why I'm able to put out, a song a week is because I make more than one song every week.
Yep, that's true.
I
That's true.
used to try to do one song a day.
Try to, yeah. I mean, and it
Mm.
really just comes down to, like I said, that productivity. So, we have an EP here. You dropped your first EP with another artist by the name of Digress, and it seems like it worked out pretty well. You released a single before you dropped this, right? Did you release
Mhm.
any other singles before this, or was this the only single?
Yeah, Changes and Knock 'Em Out were both singles
Okay,
before the EP.
so we had already
Um,
released Changes and
which
Knock 'Em Out before this.
Yeah, which was maybe a mistake on the track listing because
Mm,
yeah, I think that maybe we should have put a new song to start with because I think that people were like, okay, well, we've already heard this
got you.
immediately once they turned
Right.
on the EP.
No, that's a good point. That is a good point. Thank you for bringing that up. So what Ian's talking about is when he laid out the EP track listing, he put the two songs that they had already released as singles on the EP as the first and second song. So keep that in mind. When you're releasing singles, which you want to do as many singles as possible. Just in today's landscape, you want to put out as many singles so that you can get as many editorial pitches in as you can, and you can take advantage of that release radar. Because, for example, they dropped this EP, they can only pitch one song for editorials off of the EP. Two of them they had already done. And so that third one is what's going to get the release radar. That last one is not going to get the release radar. And in this case, they put those first two songs as the singles that they had already released, and therefore they kind of maybe got turned off of the EP because they've already heard those songs possibly. So that's just something to keep in mind. I think that's really interesting. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, then you did Pitbull, Bad Friend. I hear Death Drums. You just have multiple songs here.
Mhm.
Just releasing weekly, being consistent. You released another one with me and Downwolf, called Gore the God Butcher. We started doing tracks for every single Marvel movie because we just love Marvel movies and comics and video games and stuff like that. So, one of our favorite things to talk about is Marvel movies. And so we started releasing a song for every single new Marvel movie that came out. And so this was for Thor Love and Thunder. Right.
Or, yep.
Yeah, I mean, we had another one that I passed by, Multiverse of Madness, which was for Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange and
And
Multiverse of
Spider
Madness,
Verse
and
or
Spider Verse. Yeah, we had
No Way
Spider Verse
Home.
for No Way Home, exactly. Yeah, so we had already done three of those before. Look, you did this Kyle's mom thing as this is kind of interesting. This is kind of a funny story. So he's
Yeah,
like, "Hey, I need to do a Kyle's mom remix because the creators of South Park are doing some kind of um
they were doing a contest.
contest."
Yeah, it was a contest for people to go to a concert for their 25th anniversary. I'm a very big South Park fan. So when I first saw that they were doing like a music-based contest, I was like, oh, that'll be easy. I'll be able to make the best sounding song out of all of
Yep.
these people just super easily all by myself. And then I did not win. The song was incredibly rushed, and I just didn't really like my performance on it too much. And then also because I had to list it as a remix, um, I didn't get a release radar. So if you
Oh,
click
okay.
into it, Spotify doesn't algorithmically push that song. I don't think
Oh,
almost at
yeah.
all.
But it is being pushed somewhere. Can you tell a little bit of something about that? Because I find that very interesting.
People are finding it. Just because it's one of the very few uploads of this song. Um, so because of that, it just gets a lot of streams, just people finding it and stuff.
But not on
And it's
Spotify.
kind of
Not
annoying.
really, not really
Oh, yeah,
Spotify, but it's
on
Apple
Amazon Music
or
as
Amazon.
well,
Okay.
on Apple as well. It randomly, I think I had like 200 streams in like one day on Apple,
That's
just
crazy.
randomly.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that one was just someone just replaying it over
Well,
and over and over,
it's a
but
good thing to
still.
bring up just because of the name. Because of the name itself, this is why you guys need to pay attention to your titles and stuff like that. Because that name is what it is, it's automatically going to be something that's searched anyway.
Mhm.
People are looking for that song for like TikToks and things like that. People have used this song for TikToks. There was another song that you
Yeah.
did called
That one's up a bit.
is it up here? Where is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, that one's Pascal's mom. Should
Werewolf by
be
Night.
yeah.
Werewolf by Night was a show, a Marvel show that it came out or whatever. It's called Werewolf by Night. He released it when the show came out, so TikTok automatically, people were looking for TikToks about it or whatever, and so we see the sound and then they use the sound, so it gets TikTok videos made about it. And then not only that, but maybe people are searching for the soundtrack for Werewolf by Night and stuff
Mhm.
like that, so it gets streams that way as well. So just keep that in mind. I
Yeah.
just find it pretty interesting. So you released an EP, another EP, and this was just kind of like a quick one, but you wanted to get one done for to represent your first year, right?
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to have something to mark my first year of regular releases, so that came out. Plastic came out at the last week of August, so that one came out the last week of August last year. And
Oh,
then this year, I'm going to be planning an album called The New 52 that's going to come out the last week of August.
sweet. That's awesome. Yeah, and so we just keep on getting up here, like Disappointed was a pretty fairly big song. Bad was a pretty big song. if you're starting to see some
Absolutely.
trends, guys, if you're starting to see some trends, if you're starting to look at these numbers, they're getting better. Okay, if we go down here, down here. You know what we're seeing? We're seeing 1,000 here. We're seeing 700 here. We're seeing 2,000 here at most. You know, we're seeing 3,000. We're seeing 600, 2,000, 1,000 total. Right? That's total since 2015. We go up here. We're talking way less time. Okay, way less time, guys. We're seeing 45,000, 71,000, 11,000. It's almost 7,000, 26,000, 3,000, 1,000, or 1,500 right here because we're getting pretty close to where we are. We released an album called Year One Deluxe Edition, so he released all those songs that he had done before, but with some slowed down and reverb versions. Because why not, guys? Why not? Just go ahead and put
That
it
one
out
I did
there.
strategically. That one, because Christmas is just such a terrible time for streams, so
Okay?
it came out the week of Christmas.
And he wanted to
Because I knew it wasn't
continue
going to get very many streams anyways.
and you wanted to continue
So,
being consistent. Right?
yep,
You wanted to be continue being consistent, but you didn't want to put out anything that was like, like is this going to be like, missed,
yeah.
right? So
Hmm.
if we start looking at some of these other singles that we got coming out, because we're getting closer to where you are now, right? If we look
Hmm.
at Ghost of Tsushima, and we look at the last 12 months or whatever, um, we look at your first day here. First day, 263 streams. 263 streams. If you looked at some of the first days, which um,
Let's
we can't see the
see.
actual first
You
year
do
on or
Pitbull.
Pitbull. Okay,
You should
let's
be
look
able
at.
to.
We should be able to look at Pitbull. Let's look at the last
Yeah.
12 months. We look at the first day, guys. 89 streams. This was a big one. I
Hmm.
remember when you were excited about this.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah,
actually
because
got a
that
lot of
did very,
streams.
very well for me.
This was a very good drop for you in December of 2022, a year ago. Well, not a year ago. What is that? What year is it? It's
That's
2023, right?
June of 2022. That one's less than a year old.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So June 3rd, 2022, we're looking at 89,000. I mean, sorry, 89 streams for the first day. Then we go and look at Ghost of Tsushima, and we're getting now on that first day 263 streams for the first day. This isn't because Ghost of Tsushima is a better song. This isn't because people are just converting better for that song. No, this has to do with just overall his releases are doing better day one than they ever did before. Okay, so like first 276 streams for 100 Nazi scalps, which was the next one that you did. Devils. We're seeing trends here, guys. We're seeing trends here. 299 streams for the first day. Okay, guys. Fight Club. Did Fight Club do good?
That one was less.
That one was 244 though. We're seeing
Yeah.
consistency here. This is way more than what you would have
Give
gotten
Me
before,
Death had a
right?
good day one.
Yeah, and then Anxiety Annihilator. Wow, that's
That
great.
one was Vitamin J and
Oh,
Lord
okay.
Distortion
So
as well.
he did a
So,
collaboration with Vitamin J on this one, so that one got pretty good results there. And now we're getting to Give Me Death, which is just a recent release, right? And 713 streams in the first day, man. That seems like a big jump. This is a solo song. There's nobody else on this. It already has 2,600 streams. Why is that, Ian?
because, well, I got on a metal editorial.
You got on a metal
Very lucky.
editorial, all new metal. You got onto all new metal because you released this metal song or whatever. Because he was consistent, because he was constantly feeding the algorithm about what kind of music he makes, the kind of people that are listening to his music. He drops this new song. He pitches it as a metal song. He gets on a metal editorial, and now this track is getting every single day. Look, 340 streams from that playlist is getting
That
added
was
to
Sunday.
playlists. Uh, well, that was and that was on Sunday, which is a really slow day, right?
Hmm.
So, I mean, just think about this, guys. It just all it took was consistency, and maybe yeah, it took a year, almost a
Yeah.
year of releasing weekly, right? But he got
Mhm.
here on his own, and just from productivity, doing what he had to do to find an audience, to send those right signals um to Spotify, so that Spotify knows what his music is and everything. So I thought I what is there anything else, Ian, that you're like, that you would kind of want to let people know about, like your rise up, and like, do you have any other uh I don't know, just advice to give to that to up and coming artists that are trying to get into this kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, here, on the overview stats, real quick, if
Mm-hmm.
you could,
Yeah.
for like the audience overview, if you could just set it to 2015 real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, so you'll notice that like it went up quite a bit, and then it started to go down.
Right.
And then, from that peak, it dropped down dramatically. And then, has had little peaks here and there and stuff. But overall, if you look to like where the lowest low is during those times, overall, I'm still doing better and better and better with each
Yeah.
one and stuff, with time and everything. It's still growing, even though it's not growing as big as I would like it to sometimes and
Right.
stuff. It's still, hitting those levels overall. It's just a slow grind sometimes. And
What
so,
you're
like,
meaning to say is that the lows are higher every single time.
yeah.
They're never super. It's never a downturn necessarily. Like, you'll go down, but when you
Mhm.
go up, you go even higher. And when you go back
Yeah.
down, you don't go as low as you did before, because now you've, kind of reached new peaks. I understand what you mean. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And if, I mean, you look over at my followers right now, you'll see, and that's just, always going to go up for the most part,
Always
unless
going to go
Spotify
up.
does another purge. But it's, for the most part, your followers are always going to go up and stuff. So you're always going to keep on growing and everything, even if it doesn't look like it in the small picture.
Right. Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, the because you're getting so many more, you're getting followers all the time, and if you keep those followers engaged, they're going to continuously listen to your music. Let's say on release radar, they're always listening to your music, which means you're going to be, every single release that you do is going to be higher on their release radar. So
Yep,
you're going to get a
exactly.
more bigger and bigger and bigger release radar pushes, and stuff like that. So yeah, no, definitely, definitely, definitely. I mean,
Sadzilla has covered my release radar for just about the past 2.5 years now,
pretty
three
much,
years,
pretty much.
pretty much every week.
Yeah.
So,
If you look at, if you look at, his genders, 13%
yeah,
female, zero Riz,
it's
zero Riz from Ian.
not as
He
high,
does not
as
get the ladies on board with
not
his
very
music.
equal.
No, not very equal at
No.
all. 82% male. Um,
And for all I do,
your locations. So 25,000 listeners in the last 28 days are from the United States. 7,000, almost 8,000 are from Germany. You got 3,000 from Canada. 2,500 pretty much from the United Kingdom. And the story goes on. So this is not like, oh well, I'm sure he's getting all of his streams from India. No, it doesn't work like that, guys.
nope,
If you do it right, you do
England.
you use the algorithm, you use Spotify's tools to your benefit, you can get your streams out to the right people, um and stuff like that. You have similar artists listed here, you have related artists, um but yeah, I don't know, that's about. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think I think this is a good place to kind of wrap it up. I feel like we've kind of gone on enough about your stuff here. I don't know if there's too much that we can really say more about it. How about you guys give us some questions in the comments? If you guys have any comments or questions, definitely drop them down below. If you need more information on Ian's stats, like maybe, you're like, well, what about, this release that you talked here? Did it get any kind of like big playlist, or like what pushed this song to be da 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 da? So, like,
Mhm.
any kind of question you have like that, let me know down below in the comments, and I will give you a good response. I'll tell Ian to check out the comments on this video so that he can give you guys his own insight into his stats as well. We want you guys to grow. We want you guys to learn from our mistakes and things that we've done wrong and things that we've done good. And so, if there's anything that you guys want to know, let us know down in the comments. I think, Ian, you'd probably agree with me that the biggest thing that we can learn from this video, if we're somebody that's coming into this new, is that consistency is key. Am I right?
Yep, for I mean, just many, 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 many reasons. You just get better with each song. You can grow as an artist by just doing more and stuff. You grow, your crowd by doing more. You engage people by doing more. There's just so many reasons to continue to be consistent.
That's true. That's true. Actually, I have some other side projects that I do, and in those side projects, I try to push out everything that I make, even if it's the stuff that I make later on is way better than the old stuff. Um, you have to put it out there because you never know what might pop off, but more importantly,
Yep.
you learn from your mistakes. You learn from what you did before, and you grow and you grow and you grow, and it's okay to put it out there. It's okay to put out imperfections. Don't always get hung up on having every song be the most perfect thing, right? So just keep that in mind. Ian, is there anything else that you would like to tell them before I let you go?
Be excellent to each other.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Mm.
And where can we find you, Ian? Where can we find you on social media and stuff like that?
Yeah, just Ian underscore I-CEE. So that's IAN underscore I-CEE on all social media platforms. I'm Ian IAN space I dash CEE on like Spotify and Apple Music and everywhere else. So yeah.
There he is, right there, Ian I-CEE. Yeah. Um, I think that's about it. I think that's about it,
Mhm.
Ian. Thank you for joining me for
Yeah.
this video. I know I kind of brought this on to you a little bit, last minute, but I hope that you had as much fun as I did, diving into these stats and everything like that,
Yeah.
and getting an idea of what's going on here, and being able to relay that information to everybody else. So I want to thank you for
Definitely did.
joining
Thank
me
you for
today.
having me.
Well, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely click like and subscribe down below. And don't forget to click the bell icon down below as well so that you get notified whenever I drop videos just like this. If you guys want to see more videos like this, it's called Overanalyzed. We are going to be just diving into this stuff, with different artists. I think it could be a really cool thing that we could do pretty regularly, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, do something like this. I enjoy it. If you guys enjoy this, let me know down in the comments. And anyway, I have been Sad Zilla. Ian has been Ian I-CEE, and you just went into Zilla mode. Zilla out. And